What's going on in the DC metro housing market as of October 2020? Well, watch this short video to find out. Hi, I'm Blake Davenport with the Davenport Group. I'm a local realtor here in the DC metro area, here to share with you short and simple real estate tips. This week, we're going to be talking about the status of the DC metro housing market as of October 2020. So we're going to compare October 2020 in comparison to October 2019. As always, I work for Long & Foster. Long & Foster produces a market minute report for all the different zip codes across the DMV area. If you click the link below, you'll have access to that. It's going to go into a lot of historical data comparing 2020 October versus October 2019. So for instance, if we're looking at Arlington County, the number of units sold was 264. That's up 23%. Again, that's on trend what we have been seeing over the last couple of months because of low interest rates. There's a lot more demand now, so a lot more places are selling. So we're seeing a lot more sales in comparison to what we normally do this time of year. The active inventory is 562 homes. That's up 92% from last year. Why is that? Well, because of the low interest rates, it's driving a lot of demand. So a lot of sellers now are thinking, wow, this actually might be a good time to sell. So they're putting their homes on the market. Also, because of COVID, a little bit of the spring market has shifted to the summer and fall months. So that's why we're seeing a little bit more listings and active inventory than we normally do this time of year. The median sales price is $675,000. This is up 16% from last year because, again, the low interest rates, people are allowed to be able to afford more. We're seeing multiple offers, which is driving the price up. This is on trend with what we've been seeing this year. The average days on the market is 17 days. This is actually down 15% from last year. It's kind of on trend with what we've been seeing this entire year. Things are selling for more and they're selling quicker than they have previously. The sold versus list price is 100.4%. This is actually up 0.5% from last year. Again, if you're in the house or if you're in the market to buy a house, expect to pay the list price or higher this year. So the months of supply is 2.1 months. Again, this is the amount of time if no other listings came on the market. This is how long it would take to completely sell out. So about 2 months, that's a heavy seller's market. Typically 6 is a balanced market, but this area usually always is around that number, the 2 to 3 range. At the beginning of this year, we were below 1 month. So it is a little bit up from the beginning of the year. That is up 57% from last year. Again, this is going to be because a little bit more sellers are selling right now because it's such a good time to sell. So again, you can get this information for your zip code in the link below. So definitely check that out. What does all this mean for buyers and sellers? Again, if you're a buyer, interest rates are at an all-time low. We just had a buyer who was only putting 5% down for a condo. They got 2.625% with no PMI. Incredible loan. You would definitely not be able to get that a year or 2 years ago or ever. So it's an awesome time to buy from that perspective. So you still see a lot of demand from a seller standpoint. Because there's so many people out there, there's been more inventory of recently, but still relatively there's not that many properties on the market, so everything is selling very quickly. Over the last couple of months or so, the level of demand has slowed down a little bit. At the beginning of this year, we were seeing between 5 and 15 offers per property. Now the fall months we've been seeing about 1 to 5. Things definitely did slow down with the uncertainty with the election. With the election and Biden presumably winning the election. It really hasn't affected the market too much, a lot less than I was expecting it to. The stock market has kind of stayed consistent. They really hasn't really changed much, and that's the same thing with the real estate market. It really hasn't changed much. There hasn't been fear that it's going to go down or fear that or excitement that it's going to go up. So it's kind of been stayed on par. So actually, I was expecting some sort of change to happen, good or bad, but really nothing happened. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of months. But they're predicting interest rates to stay low throughout 2021. So, and especially with the economy and COVID, and I'm sure that's going to bring out more with the winter months of people getting a little bit more sick. And if it comes back, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're definitely going to keep rates low to encourage people to keep buying. So we'll see what happens. If they do stay low, I expect 2021 to be another good year for the housing market, both from buyers and sellers. One from buyers because the low interest rates will allow people to get into houses for cheaper, but then sellers because there will be the continued demand there. So that's just kind of my outlook over the next months. We'll see what will happen over the finish up the year of 2020. I think a lot of people are excited to get into 2021, but it's been a good year for the real estate market as of 2020. So there you have it. That's a market update as of October 2020 in comparison to 2019. If you like this video, please click the like icon below or leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Also click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel to be notified of our next videos. But thanks again for checking out this week's real estate tip on the housing market update. Bye-bye.